Hi there, welcome to I Alone Fly Tarot. I'm going to do a tarot card reading for Aquarius energy. And for this round of 12 zodiac sign readings, we're going to do another round of this 10-card spread. And we're going to shuffle the Intuit deck to see what it wants to add. And we're going to ask what could happen that people don't see coming, possibly, in the future. And we're going to ask for people who harness high vibe Aquarius energy, what could be an outcome, who harness a more worldly or shadowy Aquarius energy. And we're going to read this reading from a couple different perspectives because not everybody harnesses high vibe Aquarius energy, because life's about learning lessons, and we have to learn those lessons to harness high vibe Aquarius energy, probably, which is looking at life from a higher perspective, being able to keep things in perspective, having learned to love ourselves and treat other people the way we like to be treated, and have hope and faith and belief in your dreams, and let love and intuition guide the decisions you make. But, you know, for the first several decades of our life, we kind of might be caught up more in the worldly dream or being about ourselves in our kind of more immature, indulgent nature. And we're going to deal with different people in the world that, based on the lessons they've learned, are more on the same page as us, not on the same page as us. And we can get along with a lot of different types of people, but if we want to be in a more, invest more time and energy into a friendship or a workplace or a relationship with people, we kind of like them to kind of be on the same page as us, especially if it's romantic. So we just need to see the truth that people can harness their Aquarius energy differently. Okay, the Intuit deck. We have a card not showing itself, and it's upside down. Healing. What some people don't know about the high vibe people is they're done healing. If the card was upright, they'd still maybe be healing. But some people are done healing, but some people in their life don't know that. And the healing card in tarot is represented by the Four of Swords. Some people have reflected on the truth of the situation, and they've seen the truth, and the truth sets us free to live our life differently. And some people are moving forward in life differently because they have healed. It's just other, it's just like, say you used to be more immature and impulsive, now you're not. Other people who are still more immature and impulsive might want to get in a relationship with you, and they don't realize that you're not as immature and impulsive as you used to be. You've learned some lessons in life. Other people don't know you've learned those lessons in life. And some of those people haven't healed yet. When a card's in reverse, it can also mean kind of extremes, that they really have some healing to do, but they might not want people to know that. The reason this card came out is because of intimidation. You're either in relationships being truthful and honest and just and fair and treating people the way you like to be treated, or you're kind of trying to control and manipulate people, which is intimidation. High vibe people have seen the truth of people in their life who are still manipulated by their shadow nature that kind of intimidates and controls them, and then other people in their life who try to manipulate and control them, and other people saw the truth of it and they've moved on. Other people still haven't seen the truth. The overarching reason for the reading is the Moon card, which the opposite of the Moon card over here is the Sun. There's some people that we know haven't been illuminated to the truth. They still have some healing, growing, and maturing to do. But you have to be willing to deal with the things you might want to keep buried beneath the surface that you don't want to look at, which is also what the Moon card can talk about. And the Moon card is Pisces energy, but the Moon also rules Cancer energy, two emotional water sign energies about what are our dreams, what do we love. Some people are caught up in the illusion. Some, the illusion of themselves, that it should be more about them. They indulge themselves in their poor behavior, shadowy behavior, and they think other people should indulge them in their shadowy behavior. They have illusions about what it means to be in a relationship. They got some growing up to do. And other people are still just more caught up in the things of the world. That's what drives them, motivates them. That's what they love. If that's indulging in things of the world to make them feel happy, or making their life more about themselves or money or materialism, just kind of still caught up in the illusion of the world. Other people have learned lessons in life, and they've learned to listen to their intuition. We were given, and the moon card can talk about our intuition. High vibe people have learned that when they were kind of caught up in themselves and the things of the world and didn't want to deal with the truth, they didn't listen to their intuition, because we're kind of in our ego and we think we know best, and pride comes before the fall. And some people learn lessons from those life experiences, and they don't want to live a life of illusion anymore, stay in denial of the truth. They're motivated and inspired to deal with the truth, let love and intuition guide them, and that's how they're going to move forward. So we have the Chariot, the Knight of Cups, the Ace of Wands, the Nine of Wands, the Ten of Wands, the Magician, the Moon, the Queen of Swords, the Three of Pentacles, and the Sun. The ultimate outcome is everybody wants to... The Queen of Swords is Aquarius. I view it as Aquarius energy. Everybody has their idea of what the dream life, dream relationship would be. And everybody wants to work together with some other people to try to make that happen. With the Sun card, like, I want this new beginning. I want this to move forward. And everybody in the Temperance card is Sagittarius energy, but it's also a universe card, just like the moon is, that the divine knows that we have these lessons to learn in life, and life is about learning these lessons. And the divine is patient with all of us, because it takes time for us to realize these things that kind of in our subconscious, and that we kind of keep buried beneath the surface, that we don't think we need to address or deal with, that we can just ignore them or keep moving forward. Which some of those things that are buried beneath the surface is how we haven't healed, maybe from past pain and heartbreak and self-limiting beliefs. And the divine knows that we have to go on these journeys, and we'll be drawn and attracted to certain people to help us uncover those things that we might not have even known were kind of influencing the decisions that we were making in our life. And it's all trying to illuminate us to the truth. And if we're willing to balance out, the Temperance card can talk about trying to balance out our strong emotions. Generally in the Temperance card, the one cup is kind of like fire energy, and the other cup is water sign type of energy, where we have these things that we're motivated and inspired by. We have our own ego. We got to learn to deal with our more fiery nature and our more loving, intuitive nature, and kind of get more balanced within ourselves. And we have these lessons to learn, because there are all these things in our more worldly nature that tempt us. And so the divine is patient with all of us as we're moving forward in life. We can offer everybody peace and love and joy and treat them with respect. But do we want to be in a more involved relationship, or, not necessarily, but we can still get along with people. Just like people have gotten along with us as we've been growing up in life, and we were more immature. We were more caught up in things of the world than other people. And they're like, yes, I know. I've been there, done that. And, we just have to kind of maintain balance within ourselves, that not everybody pops out as some 50, 60, 80-year-old person that's a wise soul, We have to be patient with people, but we can be patient with people, treat people with love and respect, and we're kind of defensive to having new beginnings with them or a more involved relationship with them. Like, you kind of stay in the friend category, because I want to work with people who, in high vibe Aquarius, high vibe Capricorn, high vibe Leo, they've put in work and effort to free themselves from some of the things that manipulate them. We're willing to listen to their intuition, balance out their emotions, to be more free to be authentic in relationship. And I view high vibe Leo as being like authentic and loving and warm. And high vibe Capricorn is not operating out of your shadow nature. You've put in work and effort to kind of learn lessons in life, grow and heal and mature yourself to be a more just, fair, authentic, loving person. And those are the people that the high vibe people want to move forward with. So we have the Chariot. High vibe people have gotten in the driver's seat of their life. They learned these lessons in life, and they realized and looked at life from a higher perspective. I do have my more hopeful, believing, loving, authentic nature, but I also have my worldly nature, and I can't stay in denial of that truth. If I don't acknowledge that I have a shadow nature, well, I guess I don't know what people would do then. It's like, oops, oh no, maybe try to deny it. Like, oh, I didn't act immature. I wasn't being bossy and controlling. We have to deal with the truth that we do have our more immature, want things our way, want reward without effort, want to be lazy but still get all the things that we want in the world. Maybe be immature, bossy, or controlling. High vibe people realize they have a shadow nature. It's just that in high vibe Cancer energy of the Chariot, their loving nature is in the driver's seat of their life, and they put their more immature nature in the back seat, and they offer truth and love to their worldly nature, that we are going to move forward in life to go live the life that we want to live, but we're going to do it keeping things in perspective, not getting caught up and manipulated in the magician by our fears and our insecurity and our pride and our ego and our lust and our greed. We've already done that. That doesn't work out the way we want. So we've been illuminated to the truth. We are going to move forward, offering ourself love, compassion, and forgiveness, offering love, compassion, and forgiveness to people in our life and in our past, so we can let some things of our past go, so it doesn't keep clouding our judgment. We accept that some people in our life were more bossy, controlling, immature, whatever. That was the truth of who they were. There's other people in the world that have done some inner work to free themselves from being that way, and they're more just and fair and loving, and that's who we're going to invest our time, energy, and effort into. And we calm down our own shadow nature. Some people haven't learned how to do that yet. And so for some people, whether they want to acknowledge it or not, their more shadowy nature could be in the front seat driving their life. More out of fear, insecurity, pride, ego, lust, greed, codependency, immaturity. And until they're willing to deal with the truth of that, then they're going to keep living their life like that. Or if in their Aquarius energy, what their truth is, I am all about the world. These things, I am sure, if I go indulge in them or I make my life about those things, I am sure it will turn out the way I want. And they're kind of harnessing shadowy Aquarius, Capricorn, and Leo energy, operating more from their ego, from their more worldly nature, caught up in the illusion of the world, either being more about themselves. It's more about me. Everyone else should put aside their pride and ego in this relationship, but not me. Or just caught up in the worldly dream. I am sure if I have a certain status, image, power, influence, social clout, look like a shining star in the world, I'll be happy. It's just that other people made those things important in their life, and they saw it didn't pan out the way they wanted, because our worldly nature, the big picture kind of represented by the devil, is trying to make all these things what we think will be wonderful. But love is the answer. Love is what makes all those things that we go invest in, getting in a career field we love, getting in relationships with people we love, is what makes it all worthwhile. And until we're illuminated to that truth, we're going to still be caught up thinking, I am sure if I make my life about these things, or it's more about me, or indulging in these things, I'll be happy. Other people have been there, done that, and they realized it wasn't all that it was cracked up to be. And they felt betrayed is what the Queen of Swords can talk about. And the Queens can talk about how we think and feel. Doesn't matter if you're male or female. I felt betrayed. I got caught up in the illusion of the world. I indulged in those things. I thought for sure that would make me happy. I made my life about those things. I thought it would make me happy. And I kind of felt betrayed. And that's when people realized I need to get in the driver's seat of my life out of love for myself and defend my dreams. And I need to offer love to my more immature worldly nature that tries to tempt me to go indulge in these illusions. I view both the Nine of Cups and the Moon card as Pisces energy, which in our Pisces energy, we can kind of get caught up in all these things that we're sure will make us happy, but we're kind of caught up in illusion. And as we kind of learn lessons in life, what about my hopes and my dreams? High vibe Pisces energy. When did I kind of give up on my dreams and I kind of emotionally invested in my more immature worldly nature, And I need to offer love to myself, and out of love for myself and the dreams that I have, I need to be inspired to move forward in life. From the 1 wand to the 9 of wands is moving forward in life. And it's also moving forward in Sagittarius energy, like the Temperance card. Life is an adventure to be lived. Life is about learning lessons. I need to learn the lessons I was meant to learn, or I'm going to keep trying to do the same thing over and over, which doesn't work out the way that I want, but I feel overwhelmed about loving and believing in myself and dealing with the truth of the situation. I keep being manipulated more by my fear or my insecurity or my codependent nature or whatever, and I keep repeating the same pattern over and over. And then I end up feeling betrayed. All those things I look to be the answer to my problems are not the answer to my problems. And that's when it's like, ding, 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 ding. I need to offer love because love is the answer. I need to offer love to myself, how I could have sabotaged some of those things in my life because I was more immature, more impulsive, caught up in these things of the world, wasn't seeing the truth about some things. I got in relationships and worked for and in friendships with some people that, kind of have these same issues. And if I don't want to be where I let my past pain, heartbreak, fears, and insecurities keep me repeating an old pattern, just like some other people in my life are repeating an old pattern, I need to deal with the truth. So I need to offer myself love, to be inspired, to distance myself from repeating some of those old patterns, stand up for myself, and be inspired. From the 9 to the 10 is the Ace of Wands. I don't want to keep feeling defensive and wounded. I want to complete this cycle. And the 9s and the 10s can talk about you're getting close to completing a cycle. Well, sometimes, we kind of got to the edge and our intuition was kind of in high vibe energy, was trying to tell us you do have the resources to manifest your dreams into reality, but you have to listen to your intuition instead of your fear, and you have to look at life from a higher perspective and put life in perspective so you don't get caught up more in your fear and your insecurity and in your head for these things that you want. High vibe energy is being more independent of your shadowy nature, your more immature nature, being more independent of those things, loving yourself, being more independent in the world, learning to give yourself the things that you wish other people would have given you, looking at the big picture of life, staying balanced within yourself, loving yourself, learning how to talk yourself down, and loving yourself, providing a loving environment just within yourself And then hopefully being in relationships and friendships with people who are in that kind of energy. And if people aren't in that kind of energy, maybe protecting yourself from people in your life who might want to move forward with you in a relationship, but they keep repeating old patterns. It's like, well, my dream can't come into reality if I'm not going to repeat some old patterns of, I don't know, being more manipulated by my fear, my insecurity, my immature, indulgent nature, and I have a dream I want to have come into reality. I need to be in relationships with other people who are doing that work and putting in this work and effort to work through those issues within themselves so that they align with their more hopeful, believing, authentic, loving, creative, inspired nature. Because that's what I've learned to align with. And it could have taken, we got lots of lessons to learn the first 30, 40 years of our life, And everybody's ready to kind of do that work and deal with the truth when they're ready. When we're ready to deal with some of those truths and heal from some of our past pain and heartbreak, other people aren't. And just like people in our life kind of move forward in life, and we weren't ready to move forward in that way, we repeated an old pattern. And so, everybody's at these different stages of life when we're ready to deal with the truth. And we have all these different truths to deal with. Am I more immature and impulsive? Am I bossy and controlling? Am I egotistical, kind of more self-centered, want to be indulged in a relationship? Do I want to indulge in these things of the world to make me feel better? Am I more codependent? Those are all kind of like individual lessons that people have to learn over time. And as some people free themselves from some of those ways of viewing life and become more independent of them, other people in our life still aren't more independent of those things, right? So high vibe people were inspired. I've been there and done that enough times. And I've kind of done this work to work through my fears and insecurities to see the truth of it. Oh, I do this because of that. Well, I need to work on that issue so I don't do that because of that. I need to find a better coping mechanism, or I need to grow up and mature myself. I could get in relationships with people who have certain traits and characteristics. Why do I get in relationships with people who have certain traits and characteristics that I already know I don't like? Why am I drawn and attracted to them? And it could be immaturity, could be lust and greed. The fire sign energy can be lust and greed. It could be more codependent energy. Don't want to see the truth about people, even though our intuition could tell us, you should be defensive to this person. I don't think this person's on the same page as you. Oh yeah, but I want to go indulge in that. Or, oh, I'm sure they'll change. I'm a loving, nurturing person. I'm sure they'll choose love, even though they're not someone who chooses love. Or, oh, I know they're kind of immature and impulsive, but I'm sure they'll change. Well, that can kind of be us in our God Savior complex, not wanting to deal with the truth. If they were motivated and inspired to be a different type of person right now, or when we met them or got in a relationship with them, they would be a different type of person. But they went through the debate within themselves in their free will of what their truth is and what their truth isn't, and they chose to keep indulging their defensiveness or their fear or their ego, their immaturity, whatever. If they had come out with a different conclusion, they would have been on the same page as you. And for us to think we can change other people, we can offer other people love and have good boundaries to them. Oh, but I want to move forward with you and manipulate you, and can't we just stay in denial that I'm kind of immature or bossy or whatever I am? And it's like, no. I have learned that if people aren't already free of those ways of being, I'm not going to get in a relationship with you, a more involved relationship, because kind of if we indulge people in their poor behavior, they have no incentive to have to do this work within themselves. Well, I already got you to come and get in a relationship with me. Let's just keep doing this. I know you wanted to manifest differently, but now you're in the relationship. So how about we just keep moving forward with the illusion that I'm more emotionally mature and stable and grounded than I am? And we've already been there and done that. And it's like, nope, I can be loving and encouraging to people. If they want to repeat these old patterns, I wish you peace. Hope it works out for you. But I have learned to listen to my intuition. And now when my intuition tells me, stop, don't do that, this isn't a good idea, this is not, you should not do this, you should go home, we go home and we don't do that, you know? Because we've already learned those lessons, right? So we temper with love our more defensive nature, our more immature nature, our more fearful nature, all the ways our own worldly, shadowy nature can manipulate us, and how other people can try to manipulate us to indulge them in their poor behavior. It might look victorious and successful in a lot of ways, because the Chariot does talk about things looking and moving forward victoriously. But is it kind of other people creating the illusion that they're loving, but they're really kind of more immature and just kind of creating an illusion of love, wanting to indulge in a relationship, but maybe not really work together with people in a more cooperative way with hope and faith and belief and love? Well, I don't have hope and faith and belief and love, but hey, let's be in a relationship. And by worldly standards, we'll look like shining stars. But eventually, if you're not in a relationship with someone else who's being authentic and loving and warm and encouraging you to love and believe in yourself, like you're encouraging them to kind of love and believe in themselves and grow to their full potential, eventually it can be where it seems like you're putting in most of the work to make a dream come into reality, because really that's really not their dream anyway. And so it can be, I just want to indulge in it for as long as you're willing to be caught up in the illusion. And until you're willing to see the truth that that's really not how I live my life, I'll keep indulging in it. You know? And then we feel betrayed because it didn't work out the way we wanted. People they still have all these things that manipulate them. And they're still maybe defensive to the truth, defensive to love, not more authentic and loving, and like it's kind of like the relationship doesn't grow and mature over time because they're not maybe willing to step out of their comfort zone to move forward in life differently, because they'd have to deal with some truths, or they'd have to have some more hope and faith and belief in themselves or in love, and that cannot be their truth. That's not my truth. I love kind of indulging myself and just trying to manipulate people to get what I want. You know, again, you're either being truthful and honest or authentic, or in shadowy magician, shadowy Leo, you're just trying to manipulate people into thinking you are that type of person, so they'll move forward with you in a relationship, hoping that once they even do see the truth, that you kind of trap them in a relationship, because then their ego gets involved. You know, when loving people get in a relationship with someone who's really not as like authentic and emotionally mature or whatever as they try to present themselves as being, and then you find out the truth, well, you've already gotten in that relationship or taken that job or dating someone or married someone. Well, then your ego comes into play about, am I willing to stand up for what I believe in? And if these people aren't willing to move forward in a more authentic way, am I willing to stand up for what I believe in and live my authentic life and move away from those people? You know, because some people won't like that, you know, maybe they have people in their life or friends and family group that it's like, well, how dare you not want to live your life like that with them or indulge them in their poor behavior? You should have done it, or that's what we do. Why aren't you indulging someone? We indulge someone for those reasons. And it's like, because I don't want to live a life of illusion. I want to live my authentic life, and I had a dream, and if I kind of feel like someone was manipulative and hiding the truth, well, then it's like kind of committing fraud. And it's kind of like, if you take a job somewhere and they're like, oh no, we're these loving, supportive, encouraging people. And then you get in the job and it's like, oh my gosh, these people are not at all who they said they were. Am I willing to quit that job to go find a different job? I'm not staying here. You are not who you said you were. People are wounded here. People are overwhelmed. You're manipulative. You're secretive. You're egotistical or bossy or cold. You operate more from ego, and the other people are trying to move forward in a more emotionally balanced, loving way, but you refuse to do that. So it's just kind of like, but when it's a romantic relationship or say a marriage, it's more difficult because we really wanted that to work, and even a job, we wanted it to work. But, sometimes, high vibe energy is adhering to a higher truth and justice. And I'm not going to let people who are, in tarot, like I think I mentioned, the healing card is represented by the Four Swords, which is Libra energy, represented by the scales of justice. If people were hiding, they're not just and fair, and they have a lot of things that tempt them in their shadow nature that they give into because they have this illusion and justify it within themselves that, oh, I can get away with this. Oh, I can do that. I don't have to work cooperatively with people and be more authentic and try to look at life from a higher perspective. Other people have kind of indulged me in this poor behavior. Well, it's hoping that they can intimidate people to keep putting up with their poor behavior. And if you aren't willing to put up with their poor behavior, then again, they could become defensive to you and cold to you, hoping you won't love and believe in yourself because you have love for them or you love the job and you wanted it to work out, that you'll come back and keep indulging them. And eventually some people say, I'm done. The Queen of Swords is supposed in alignment with the King of Swords. Well, a King of Swords is people who present themselves in the world as these just and fair, stable, grounded, balanced, emotionally mature people. Well, that's who these people thought they were getting in a relationship with. But that person wasn't who they said they were. They presented themselves as being that type of person, male or female, because the kings can represent how we're presenting ourselves in the world. But for some people, that's just living more from their mind than their heart, like a mental construct. They were creative to try to create this illusion that they were a counterpart to someone who really is who they say they are. And the other person really isn't. That's when it's like, no, you aren't who you said you were. You have these illusions about what it means to be in a relationship. You have some things that you don't want to look at, that you want to keep buried. You don't either have hope and faith and belief in yourself or in a higher truth, that there's more to this world than just you or these things of the world. You're defensive to being more authentic or working more cooperatively. You try to maybe intimidate and control people to get them to do what you want. And that is not my truth. So some high vibe people have already moved on from those type of people. Some other people could be moving on from people like that. And then it's kind of like we got to go back and transmute the energy to work through it, to let it go. So for some of you that have already done that, it's dealing with the truth of the situation, balancing out your emotions that some people weren't who you thought they were. And then you get yourself in the driver's seat, being inspired to close out that chapter in your life. And when that part of you is like, oh, this takes too much work, I'm just going to go back and live life the way I did it, your loving nature stops you. No, we are not going to give in to our more immature nature. We have a dream. And we are going to keep putting in the work and effort to work through our own fears and insecurities, shedding light and love on them, to bring them into the light, offer love and encouragement and forgiveness to them, and keep being focused on the big picture. Yes, I want these things to come into reality in my life. Do I need it today, next week, this month, next year? No. I have a lot of other things that I can focus my time, energy, and effort on to than some of those other things that I want in my life. Just learning to love myself and feeling more stable and grounded and balanced within myself. All these other things and people in my life that I can offer love and encouragement to help those people love and believe in themselves, the people who are willing and looking for someone to work with them and help them work through those things, open to learning lessons in life, to get out of their fear and their insecurity or their defensive egoic nature and help them look at life from a higher perspective and have hope and faith and belief in their dreams. And I think that's what high vibe people do without wanting people to stay in more codependent energy on them. The reason we can get drawn and attracted to certain people is because they seem a lot like us, but it's just those subtle differences. And as you get to know people, it's like, oh, wait a minute, you're hiding that you might like people to view you as a loving person. And in a lot of ways, they can be a loving, supportive person, but only if you stay defensive and wounded and keep repeating an old pattern, because that's what they do and how they live their life. But if you start to work through your issues and you heal and grow and mature in some way, and you're stepping maybe out of your comfort zone to quit repeating an old pattern, to be more authentically yourself in the world instead of hiding kind of behind your ego, well, that's when those people can become defensive to you. Well, you've changed. You're not the same person. So it's kind of like, I didn't want you to heal and grow to your full potential. I didn't want you to shine your authentic light in the world. I like people to view me as loving, and I'll be a loving person in a relationship with you until you start to heal from some of your issues. Because then in order for me to move forward with you, I have to deal with some of my issues. And the Magician is Gemini Virgo energy, and Gemini is our dualistic nature of what is my truth, and am I more worldly focused, self-focused, indulgence focused, or high vibe Virgo, willing to learn lessons in life and deal with some of these issues I prefer to keep hidden in the dark. And that's when they can be like, I would be a loving, nurturing, supportive person. I'd keep moving forward with you in a relationship, but I won't do that. Meatloaf song, but I won't do that. There's certain lines people won't cross. And if it would require them to look at life from a higher perspective, learn to keep things in perspective instead of getting all caught up in their head, in their fear or their insecurity, or quit living more from their mind and connect in with their more emotionally intuitive, loving nature, it's like, that's the danger zone. And that's when you can kind of see where some people don't authentically want to emotionally invest themselves in a relationship. I will be in a relationship with you. I will indulge myself in a relationship. I will present myself as loving to you, and I'll seem very loving. But to authentically let my more authentic loving nature out to play, nope, I will not do that. Because that puts them at risk of being hurt. And that's where some people draw the line. I find that overwhelming. And for people who've kind of kept their more authentic, loving, vulnerable nature buried beneath the surface, yeah. To get to where they are more willing to do that, for some it may never happen. For some it could take decades. And for some people they'll never do it. Because in their free will choice, they have the free will to align with being more motivated and inspired to operate from their more emotionally defensive, egoic, self-protective nature and just create the illusion that they're loving so other people will get in a relationship. But again, it's just kind of more to indulge themselves in it. Create this illusion so that people will move forward with them in a relationship. They look like they have what other people have in the world. And if they can get a loving person to get in a relationship with them, well, then it looks like they're an authentically loving person. And if some of those people right now are trying to get another authentically loving person to be in a relationship with them, and as time goes by, some people can wear a very good social mask. People can tempt people with these things of the world. Look how victorious and successful we'll look like a shining star. But if people have hope and faith and belief and love and they really want a more authentic, deep, meaningful relationship, eventually they can't stop the high vibe people from listening to their intuition. And eventually those people can't hide from the truth anymore because they do kind of feel defensive and wounded and manipulated in the relationship. And you start to feel like, I think the reason you're in this relationship is kind of more for the ego and the image and the perks of being in a relationship, but I don't really think it's love. And I want to be in a relationship with someone who wants to be in a relationship with me because of love. And that's when those people can become defensive to you and quit communicating with you and try to manipulate you and get you up in your head and your fears and your insecurities to not love and believe in yourself so that you'll keep indulging them. And some people said no. And then as those people were moving forward, they could have made offers to people in the world who they think are more on the same page as them. And then it kind of made those people could have been moving forward, and it could have made those people pause to think, how am I living my life? What drives and motivates me? What kind of people am I hanging out with? What drives and motivates them? Is that the kind of relationship I want? Here's someone making me an offer to be in that type of relationship. Am I willing to do that? And some of those people are like, damn, I'd like to, but nope. I'm kind of more about these things, or someone indulging me, or me indulging someone else for those things. And I have these issues I need to deal with, and I don't want to deal with them. And other people are like, you know what? I'm going to quit moving forward in my life the way I've been moving forward. And I'm going to do this work within myself. And I'm going to speak my truth to the people I'm hanging out with and in relationship with, saying this is how I want to move forward. Do you want to move forward with me in that way? And if some of their people in their life are like, nope, I'm not doing it, then it's like, okay, I'm going to go take up some of these people on their offer to work for them, become friends with them, re-become friends, or, whatever. Because I think they're more on the same page as me. I think high vibe people love the people they're in relationship with. They offer them love and encouragement, but eventually they have to stand up for themselves and quit letting people in their life manipulate and intimidate them. This is my truth, and this is how we are going to move forward. Are you coming with or not? And if you're not, that's fine. I've reconciled myself from a place of love that I accept everybody has free will to live their life the way they want. Will I be hurt? Will I feel betrayed? Yeah. Will you feel hurt? Will you feel betrayed? Probably, because we all thought maybe that we all viewed life the same, or we would do this or do that. And then it's kind of like, we have different truths. We have different dreams. We have different things that motivate and inspire us. Go live your life the way you want to go live it. I don't want to be mad at someone because they don't want to live life the way I want to live it. And I don't want someone mad at me because I don't want to go live life the way they want to live it. Go live your life. We'll all balance out our emotions eventually. And the people in my life that are still on this same page as me will be people who move forward with me. The people that are more on the same page as you will keep moving forward, being more aligned with you and your truth because that's their truth. And, it's trying to find the people that we're more on the same page with. The only thing is, shadowy people sometimes keep trying to manipulate, create this illusion that they're a more emotionally mature, just, fair, stable, grounded person than they really are. Try to get in relationships with people who really are that, to kind of trap them in a relationship. But they're defensive and they're kind of overwhelmed because that's not their truth. And then because they're not willing to deal with some of these issues, they do kind of take more immature action in a relationship because they haven't learned to offer love and be more authentic or more truthful or just or fair. And the same cycle happens again. And the best thing would be for them to get in a relationship with someone like themselves, but then they maybe don't like being in a relationship with someone who's like them, who might be defensive to working cooperatively in a more authentic, loving way. And everybody's kind of trying to use their emotions and their sexuality and their charm and everything to manipulate each other. But if that's their truth, that would be a just and fair relationship. And if some of those people have found someone who is kind of overwhelmed like them, has these issues they also don't want to deal with, maybe aren't as motivated by love, but kind of a little more motivated by these things of the world and ego and image, well, then that would be a good relationship for them to be in. People who are loving want to be in relationships with people who look at life from a higher perspective and are inspired to learn lessons in life. High vibe Cancer, high vibe Sagittarius, high vibe Aquarius. The other people try to present themselves as loving, to look like a shining star in the world, kind of defend their more egoic view of life, and are defensive of it, harnessing more shadowy Cancer, Sagittarius, Aquarius. Don't want to free themselves from their ego, want to keep indulging their more immature nature, worldly nature, egoic nature. What's coming up for people who harness some high vibe Aquarius energy that they might not see coming up? Okay. The Ten of Swords, completing that cycle to come out with the truth. And then we have two cards not showing itself, and the reason these cards came out is because of the Death card. The Death card is Scorpio energy, talks about our complex emotions that we have for people, and it takes time to emotionally detach from people. We can initially move away from certain jobs, friendships, and relationships with people, kind of keep our distance from some people. But if they were people that we had wanted to dream to come into reality with, like we thought we were going to be lifelong friends, or we thought it was a romantic interest that was going to bring a dream into reality, we can initially move away from them, but it is hard, and we have to do this work within ourselves. Our Pisces energy helps us transition out, because Scorpio is fixed sign energy, and it's kind of the emotional water sign energy that we can tap into when we're in the midst of a relationship. And then our Pisces energy helps us kind of work through the illusion and the confusion of it, so that initially we can leave the relationship, but then we need to do this emotional work to really emotionally detach, and then we've really completed the cycle. And we're ready to move on emotionally. We've tempered out our emotions about that past life experience, to let it go, to not let it be. We take the lessons that we learned, but not let people stop us from believing in our dreams and believing in other people. We just have learned some valuable life lessons about other people, and we're going to take that lesson with us when we work with new people. And so when we keep repeating a pattern over and over, it's like death, because there's nothing new to learn there. We do a phase of life to learn lessons, and when we learn the lessons we were meant to learn, we're supposed to emotionally detach and like go to the next phase of life, just like we did age 15, age 18, age 21, age 25. And there's some people that, I don't know, being more authentic, freeing themselves from things that manipulate them is really overwhelming. Or looking at life from any other perspective, a higher perspective, is overwhelming. So they keep repeating the same pattern, but there's nothing new to learn there. It's different people, different places, different jobs, but they're the exact same person in the next relationship, next friendship, next job as they were in the last one, because there's some issues they don't want to see the truth of. And they probably keep indulging people in their life who don't encourage, they indulge their more shadowy nature that doesn't encourage them to love and believe in themselves and listen to their intuition and free themselves. And then they probably have people in their life that are happy they don't do that because they don't do that either. Well, I'd hate for you to have your life dreams come into reality when I'm living my life this way. So I'm going to present myself as loving to you, telling you, you shouldn't do that, and you shouldn't align with those people, and you shouldn't be more bold and brave and confident and believing in love. You should align with us, and you should live life like we do it. And they kind of backstab and betray themselves too. There's nothing new to be learned there. It's the same old thing over and over and over. But they could just be unwilling to stand up for themselves and, claim their independence, because shadowy energy is being more codependent. And they just haven't learned to love and believe in themselves to be maybe more independent. And they may never. So as you're moving forward, what some people don't know about you is that you previously could have harnessed these energies in a more worldly, shadowy way. But as you have detached from people in your life, you detach from harnessing those energies in a more shadowy way, and you're willing to detach from people in your life who harness those energies in a more shadowy way. But what people don't understand is there is a further process to it. The Death card talks about death and transformation. That you have, kind of like the nesting dolls, you're not the same person you were before. You detach from some old ways of looking at life, viewing life, feeling about yourself, about relationships. You're not the same person you were before. And that's what some people don't get. You now harness these energies in a more high vibrational way. Because shadowy people are kind of operating from their ego, trying to create this illusion. Some people in the world just think you're doing a better illusion than they are. But you're not creating an illusion. You're being authentically who you are from truth and love and healing and growing and maturing yourself. So what are these cards? The 8 of Cups and the 5 of Wands. We all kind of indulged ourselves in the competition, which was indulging ourselves in our more worldly nature. But you've looked at life from a higher perspective, and you learned to love yourself, and now you're aligned with the competition. You're a more loving, hopeful, believing nature. And you cut out the people in your life who wanted to keep indulging in the competition, operating from their ego. And you want to move forward with people who've changed, who have been inspired by love to live their life differently. And that's what some people don't know about you. What's coming up for some people who harness a more worldly, shadowy Aquarius energy? The 5 of Swords and the Knight of Cups. Why? Because of the Death card. Well, I think when we don't choose love, it always causes us mental conflict that the 5 of Swords talks about. And people know that some loving people, that they had loving, encouraging people in their life. But because they had mental conflict about love, the relationship ended. And some people, when people are being kind of bossy or controlling or immature or superficial or shallow, there's going to be some high vibe people in their life that want to move the relationship forward. They have a dream. And they wish these people would put an end and work through some of these issues that they have. But eventually they see the truth that if they were motivated and inspired to be more loving or authentic, they would be. And that's when you realize, I can't change other people. They have to make that free will choice within themselves. And then people see the truth. My dreams aren't going to come into reality here. And I need to offer myself love to emotionally detach from these people because I do have a dream. And their idea of how they want to move forward is continuing to repeat this old pattern. Have no interest maybe in love, being more just and fair, being more authentic, looking at life, thinking there's more to life than just about them or ego or image or money and materialism. And that's our truth. And they have some high vibe people in their life periodically that leave their life. And some of them are doing that right now. And if these people keep staying in this kind of shadowy energy, yeah, there's going to be other people who kind of have mental conflict about loving and believing in themselves. They went and gotten jobs, friendships, and relationships that didn't work out the way they wanted. And they have some mental conflict about loving and believing in themselves to keep moving forward. And they feel overwhelmed and they're going to go get in a relationship with these kind of people. You know, it's like God uses shadowy people for God's good purposes. We have free will. Here's someone you can get in a relationship with. By worldly standards, it'll look great. It's just not really love. You have free will. Is that how you want to live your life? You can. And it helps people get clear about their truth. Nope. I want a more authentic, loving relationship. But for the people who are on the same page as them, you know, yeah, I'll move forward with you in a relationship. I'm kind of more motivated by these things. And then they're in a relationship with someone who's on the same page. But then they might be mad because they're in a relationship with someone like themselves who has mental conflict about love, who's maybe a little more emotionally shallow and superficial, who might be kind of bossy or controlling or egotistical or manipulative, intimidating and controlling. But that's kind of what they chose to align with within themselves. When they had high vibe people in their life where they could have had a supportive, encouraging environment to work through those issues, to free themselves from it, they chose not to do that. Well, when are we going to see through the illusion? If I don't want to grow up and mature and heal myself and temper my ego, well, probably the only people who are going to stay in a relationship with me are people who are in that same energy. And they might stay in it, even though they might have mental conflict about it. There might not be love there, but by worldly standards, it looks good. And if that's the most important thing in their life, is that they look victorious and successful, don't want to deal with the truth or reveal the truth or be more authentic, well, then they're going to get in relationships with people who are motivated and inspired probably by those same things. And nothing changes, nothing new grows there. Same old thing over and over and over because we don't want to deal with the truth. And in relationships with other people who don't want to deal with the truth. So we keep living our life and staying in kind of like a time warp. Like, nope. Refuse to step out of our comfort zone. Refuse to look at life any differently. Whatever it is we make our life about or whatever we indulge in that we think will make us happy, even though we keep being confused and keep feeling betrayed because it keeps not working the way we think, we refuse to deal with the truth and balance out our emotions. We keep being sure that the action we are taking is going to work out. We just maybe need to find new people to... Again, it could be a more codependent energy. Some people right now are in a relationship with someone again, but they keep feeling overwhelmed. And some people look to other people to be the answer to their problems. Well, shoot, I still have mental conflict. I thought if I got in a relationship with you, that would put an end to it. They look to getting in relationships with people like some people look to drugs or alcohol, you know? You are supposed to be the answer to my problems. I still feel overwhelmed. I still feel defensive. I still have inner conflict. I still have these issues that manipulate you. You must not be the right person. I need to end the relationship with you. I need to go find someone else. I'm sure that person will be the answer to my problems. And they don't realize that the answers lie within them. But until they're willing to love themselves and quit looking for other people to love them or validate their worth and value to magically take away all their issues are going to stay there because another person can't do that for you. Another person can provide a supportive, encouraging, loving environment for you to do this work within yourself. But for some people, it's like, no, that is not how I view life. And I refuse to think that I am the one who has to put in this work and effort. I think I should be able to find someone to make all those issues go away. It's like, okay, you go. Good luck. You know, other people are not the answer to their problems. They are the answer to their problems. So there you go, Aquarius. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.